Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Imran Syah bin ADNAN. My student ID is 2017977337. I would like to thank both of the panel for taking the time to listen to my digitalized proposal presentation entitled Acute Effects of Sled Towing on Repeated Sprint Ability Performance in Recreational Level Athletes. So, this presentation will include some introduction of the topic, problem statement, research objective, and I will discuss the methodological section in depth that will cover research design, data collection protocol, sampling technique, instrumentation, and I will end this presentation with data analysis technique. So we proceed for the next slide. Let us begin with some introduction. Torrentegi stated that repeated sprint training has shown to be effective for performance enhancement in this sport, increasing maximal oxygen uptake as well as peak and mean speed during a repeated sprint test. For this reason, repeated sprint is routinely included in the training program of intermittent sport, which is team sport. Recent research by Selmi 2018 has reported percentile value of repeated sprint performance of young soccer player classified by their maturity status. So for post-activation potentiation, it is definition is induced by a voluntary conditioning activity has been shown to increase peak force and rate of force development during subsequent muscle contraction, increasing performance. However, not all research supported this link of PAP training benefits towards athletes. So we proceed for the next slide. Problem statement. So to our knowledge, there is a lack of published investigation in regard to conflicting experimental results. However, based on Whelan 2014, the studies shown that this enhancement was limited and not provide strong evidence of PAP sprint performance. Furthermore, need arise for determining the acute effect of sled towing on repeated sprint ability performance in recreational level athlete. So we go to the next slide, objective slide. So recognizing the gap in a research, there is a need for an investigation to look at the acute effect of sled towing on repeated sprint ability, which is RSA, performance in recreational level athlete. Therefore, this study aims to determine the acute effect of sled towing post-activation potentiation, which is PAP, on repeated sprint ability in recreational level athletes. So we go to the next slide. Significance of the study. This study is expected to benefit a number of athletes, including coach, researcher, who can further advance our study. A functional understanding of the acute effects of sled towing on repeated sprint ability, which is RSA, performance in recreational level athlete. Using this study, the recreational level athlete can help to this research to determine the acute of these studies. Furthermore, the knowledge on the acute effect of sled towing will help to develop future evidence based on public health policies by the government. So now we proceed to the methodology. So for the methodology, research design page. For my subject, they will give repeated sprint ability tests to measure their performance. This study will employ through experimental research design. Specifically, this study will use a control research design. So we proceed for the sample size calculation. Using the data from a study by Granite Tenor 2016 and as indicated by the sample size calculator, which we're using the G-Power, a sample size of 12 of the varsity level athlete. However, to account for potential dropout, we aim to recruit a total of 15 participants for each group using a convenience sampling method. Next, this is the journal that I used to calculate the sample size for this study. So we proceed to the instrumentation. For completely to success this investigation, they have equipment to use for measurement in this study. So we have 3 equipment that we will use. Participants will be measured by the equipment such as timing gate, timing mat, and a measuring tape. So this timing gate equipment is that's tools for measurement time during sprinting test. The time will be taken during the initial and final time that subject reach at the last indicator, which is the finish line. Okay, timing mat is the tool able to provide a range of timing option from start and finish time, a midpoint. This tool will measure the timing when the participant start jump until land. The time will record during the participant on air. So for the measuring tape, as we know, it was to measure the distance or height that has been recorded by the participant. So next we proceed to the next slide, instrumentation procedure. Following the measurement of anthropometric indices, which height, weight, and BMI, participant will be explained. On the trial day, participant will perform a warm-up first. After that, the participant, consisting of dynamic warm-up, football drills, squats, and repeated sprint. And next, a participant perform the repeated sprint session, which consists of 3 sets of 10 repetition of 10-second sprint. So repetition and set were interpierced by 20-second and 3-minute rest respectively. So for the ratio, the exercise rest ratio is 1:2, and the duration of the repetition and interpretation rest were chosen to 18 mimic common action time during football games. The repeated sprint session was conducted on a football field, using a specifically designed circuit consisting on sport-specific movement and change of a direction performed with the ball. So we proceed to the next slide, is collection subject data. So first of all, the participant will be take the anthropometric indices, which is height, weight, BMI, as I mentioned before. Okay, participant must complete screening of health risks and obtain informed consent. Participant has been commanded to perform a repeated sprint ability test, which is RSA, with a 20-meter sprint test, 3 sets of 10 repetition of the sprint. So for the measurement of this test been taken in unit second. The time taken by using the photoelectric sensor at the timing gate system. So for the stopwatch will be reset for each run. The run of each participant will be measured. 3 sets for each participant to do this test. So we proceed to the next slide, calculation of the test. So for in this study will be conducted, the both tests will be conducted, which include time taken of 20 meter sprint test, timing at the start until the finish line. The time will taken for each 20 meter that have 3 sets. So we proceed to the next slide, is data collection procedure. Okay, after the article has been approved, the permission to do research must be done to perform this investigation. So furthermore, all participants will be explained about the repeated sprint ability test, which is RSA, before started the experiment. Each of them will perform 3 sets of the test. The study duration in 14 days, which is 2 weeks. So for the first week, the participant will do health risk screening. The participant data will be collected after the participant finish the test. So we go to the next slide, statistical analysis. So this study will be descriptive, will use descriptive analysis that want to describe the anthropometric measurements of the participant. Finding of significant mean effect between conditioner will be further explored via simple contrast. Paired t-test will be used to compare the acute effect of sled towing on repeated sprint ability performance in a recreational level athlete. Analysis of the data will be conducted using the SPSS software. Statistical significance will be accepted at p less than 0.05. So we proceed to the next slide, is a reference. So this is my reference. They are all the list of reference for this presentation. So thank you. Thank you to my panel. Again, I would like to thank both panels for taking the time to listen to my digitalized proposal presentation. Until we meet again. Thank you.